So this is Topsoil. It's a gardening puzzle game, and essentially what you're trying to do, this is the tutorial, but what you're trying to do is harvest as many plants as you can before your garden fills up. So when you plant plants, you're planting from this queue, and you have to make the move that's at the front of the queue. And when you harvest plants, you harvest everything that's on the same soil and of the same plant type. So the trick is that when you harvest, it also changes the soil color underneath, which also controls the groups that you're harvesting. So you wind up having to kind of plan ahead in order to make moves that allow you to make big groups of plants without running out of space. So that's kind of the very light tutorial that starts you out just trying to help you make good moves that don't get you too confused at the start. And as you play, you start to see new different types of plants come in. And they generally, like these seeds, have timers which force you to kind of not only think ahead in the immediate term, like what the harvesting going to do to my board, going to impact, but also the longer term, because I can't harvest these until
2 turns
until they've and so the turns happen when you do a harvest. Planting is just considered. No time passes, so you kind of wind up with this like morphing landscape as you try to.
So you can harvest one tile if you'd like.
Yeah, so you can harvest a single tile like this or like this, and that's all valid. And there's an undo button so that if you just make an earnest mistake, there's no penalty there. Another mechanic in the game that's a little bit more of a mastery thing is these birds, which initially in the game kind of are pretty rare, but they do come up. And later in the game you unlock the ability to choose which plants have lots of birds on them. And what the birds do is provide essentially a score bonus for the group that you harvest them on. And the bigger the group, the more of a score bonus you get. So it kind of re-incentivizes the core strategy of the game, which is to plan ahead, get a large group of plants, and get the most points that you can from the plants that you're given. So the bird flies away when you harvest.
And so it's an endless high score challenge, or are there levels?
So yeah, it's an arcade like challenge game.
Okay.
There is a progression system kind of that we talked about. So as you play, you collect for a given plant at a time, and that unlocks the ability to have these birds. So in this case, I've unlocked the first bird, and there's 4 birds in total right now, and there's 7 plants that you can discover as you play along. And then once you've unlocked them, you can choose where to put your limited number of birds to get a score bonus on a particular type of plant, which has a different consequence for the strategy and what type of plant you focus on in the game. And then there's also 20-something different achievements, which are kind of loosely separated into easy, medium, hard, and very hard. So these kind of provide an additional. Some of them are things that would help you understand your skill level. Some of them are things that would change the way you play in order to achieve them. So
okay,
yeah, this is essentially the game.
And then how do you lose?
So you lose when the garden fills up. So if I place a plant and I harvest just one, I still have to plant 3 plants, and then I have to plant 3 plants and I get another harvest. So now I've lost 2 spaces that I used to have opportunities for, and that can be totally fine if you're able to recover. But if you don't, if you keep making moves that don't give you enough space, then here I have one further move that I could make, and actually if I did this move I would still be able to make 1 additional move. But now there's no more moves that actually give me 3 more spaces the next time I harvest. So this means that I could choose to harvest something like this, but actually maybe the best thing is these pine trees, which are worth the most, because I'm going to lose. I know I'm going to lose, so I choose these, and then the game is over.
Okay. Sounds good. Is the game going to be free to play?
Yeah, so I have it unlocked on this one, but it's essentially going to be kind of a metered play system where you have 3 plays and then you watch a video ad to get more,
okay.
And then there's an in-app to just bypass the entire system.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks. It's called Topsoil?
It's called Topsoil. There's a website, Topsoil Game, and Twitter handle is the same.
And when do you plan to launch?
I'm intending to launch in about 3 weeks to a month. It's a little bit up in the air right now because I'm talking to people to try to figure out what makes the most sense. But
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds good.